Welcome. Hello. Welcome. Good evening. Gather round, children. We are having our very first good night stories, spooky stories with Shaezilla. Hi. Thank you for joining. This is the first time I'm trying something like this for y'all. I'm hoping to practice a couple things. Number one is my reading to out loud skills. That skill set. I want to work on that and obviously get some more streams up on this channel, because the more streams we have on this channel, then we can meet our Twitch goals and hopefully be able to get affiliate and partner and all of that. So yeah, get your Bree, thank you for being here. Siscat, Rachel, everyone, Glenda, Maddie, I see everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is a book Justin just got for me. We just did our presents. Look how pretty that is. It's the occult book, A Chronological Journey from Alchemy to Wicca. Excuse me. So I figured we could do that. And then there's also a website that I absolutely love. It's called Listverse, listverse.com. And they have top 10 lists. And they're really exciting. They're always very well written, very well researched. And it'll be like top 10 serial killers from Wisconsin, top 10 UFO phenomenon from the 80s, and things like that. It's a bunch of really random things like that. It's a lot of fun, so I'm super excited. So this, I feel like I'm going to try and pick something random, because these are this is in order, I guess. Oh my god, there's 24 people here. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, okay, so again, this is the occult book, A Chronological Journey from Alchemy to Wicca. It's beautiful. It's hardcover. Justin got it for me. I'm very thankful. Oh my gosh, well, happy birthday. Oh, there's a mosquito in here. Did I get it? Ugh. First of all, this is how, look at this gorgeous woman. Hey, we love her. We stan. Cool as hell. She got her pearls on. If I stumble over my words, just please be patient. I am, I'm practicing a skill set of reading out loud. So I might be rusty. I have my water here, so let's go. Evangeline Adams, acquitted of fortune telling. When Evangeline Adams, 1868 to 1932, visited New York City on that late winter day in 1899, she was already a well-known astrologer, and the owner of the hotel where she planned to stay eagerly provided her with his birth data. Adams calculated her birth chart and progressed it to that year, but what she saw disturbed her so much that she went to another hotel. The chart predicted a disaster, a prediction that was fulfilled the next day when the hotel burned to the ground. That's a lot. Word got out, and by 1905, Adams had so many clients in New York City that she had moved there, renting a studio in Carnegie Hall and offering consultations. Her clientele soon included some of the richest and most influential people in New York, among them the legendary financier J.P. Morgan. When criticized for his interest in astrology, Morgan is reported to have said, "Millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do." That's a fucking quip. That's nice. Under the laws of New York State, though, astrology still counted as fortune-telling and was against the law. In 1914, despite her wealthy and influential friends, Adams was brought up on charges of fortune-telling. To defend herself, she asked the judge to provide her with birth data for a person he knew, and she didn't, and cast and interpreted that person's birth chart right there in the court. The reading she gave was an accurate description of the personality of the judge's son. Impressed, the judge said that Adams had raised astrology to the level of an exact science and ruled that astrology no longer could be prosecuted as fortune-telling. That's interesting. It took years for similar rulings to be handed down in other jurisdictions, but the climate of opinion had changed. By the middle years of the 20th century, astrologers practiced their art undisturbed across most of the Western world. I didn't stumble too bad either. That was pretty good. Yay, that's cool. Go, girl. Go, girl. You're cool as hell. Cool. Ew, oh my god. Ew, literally on the next page is disgusting. We'll just skip right over that. Why is that in there? Let's find another cool ass bitch. Something that doesn't have words that I will mispronounce. Ooh, the Voodoo Queen. Absolutely. We remember her from American Horror Story and then also history books if you love history. I love history, so that's why this book is really, really a good find for me. Good job. Good job, Justin. And again, there's going to be French words in here. And if I mispronounce them, I'm sorry. This is a good book. I have no idea where you bought it, but I'm very excited. And there's also one about conspiracy theories. I thought we could also get into that one day. So this is the Voodoo Queen. New Orleans was one of the very few places in the slave-owning parts of the United States where a large community of free African Americans existed before the Civil War. Most of the members of that community were devout Christians, but some practiced religious and magical traditions inherited from their ancestors in Africa. After the Haitian Revolution broke out in 1791, refugees from Haiti brought their traditions of Vaudou to New Orleans to add an already complex religious environment. From that Haiti mix came the traditions of New Orleans voodoo. Wow, I'm actually stumbling on this one. Let me take a sip. Thank you for being patient with me. And then I definitely want to get into some creepy stuff on this new tablet that Justin also got me because spoiled. Marie Laveau from 1801 to 1881. Damn! Should be 80 years old. Damn! Okay. Was the acknowledged leader of the voodoo community in New Orleans from around 1850 until she retired in 1869. She presided over ceremonies on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain, on a body of water on St. John's Eve, June 23rd, when hundreds of worshippers gathered around bonfires, danced to the beat of pounding drums, and took ritual baths in the lake. The rest of the year, she could be found in her cottage on St. Anne Street, where she prepared and sold magical charms for a clientele that included wealthy white patrons as well as black people. When she died in 1881, every newspaper in New Orleans gave her a legendary obituary. That's nice. Like, even back then, she was, like, famous and recognized. New Orleans was the most important gateway through which African religion contributed a portion of its rich heritage to Western occultism, but it was far from the only one. All over the New World, African slaves clung tenaciously to their traditions and adapted them to fit the resources of their new homes. Although Vodun, it's Vodoun, and its New Orleans offshoot, voodoo, survived in only a few places and lived traditionally of folk magic, known variously as hoodoo, conjure, and root work, blended more easily with the Protestant Christianity most African Americans practiced and became widespread. By 1900, practitioners of hoodoo could be found in most American cities. Interesting. This book is called The Occult Book. It's really, really pretty. I really like it. Okay, I want to find some creepy things because this website list first is also a lot of fun. Let's see, it's like top 10 strange and eerie mysteries from Ireland, weird ways where nobody died, strangest things people are addicted to. Oh, I should read this one. Shocking interruptions to live event performances. Should I do that one? No, I want to find something scary. How do I go backwards in this? This isn't a, no. So this isn't like an iPad, so I don't know how to use it. It's a Fire thing. List verse creepy. Okay. 10 of the most famous hags and witches. 10 creepy small town myths. Excuse me. I'm going to do 10 creepy small town myths. Okay. There is just something about small towns in America. Every one of them is a little bit, oh, what happened? We were unable to, but I have the connection. Give me that back. I had it open. What do you mean? It was like literally like loaded. Can someone tell me why the fuck this is doing this shit? Don't fucking close on me. It's literally open. It's been opened. I was literally in my sentence. I was feeling my oats as I was speaking. Don't do this to me again. That was very rude. Justin, it's broken. How do I make him fix this? How do I make him fix this? Well, I don't even know how to use this thing. Okay, well, back to the good old-fashioned book we go. I wish it was an iPad. That sounds terrible. I wish it was an iPad because then I would know how to figure it out. It's a Fire something. We got it just so when we go on the plane soon, we'll be able to have something playing for Mia just in case she screams. We want to make sure this is a peaceful one. I know people are against like screen time for babies, but when you're on a plane and you're bringing a baby and you're trying to not make anybody else fucking furious at you, you might pull out a fucking iPad. So I'm very defensive already. No, I don't even know how to refresh it. It's just like, you don't have enough data to support this, and like it, or like it's not supported right now. I'm like, okay, how do you find out to support it? Seems illegal. Okay, origin of the tarot. That sounds fun. Let's read this. Very pretty. Ooh. Is this the 4 bitches? This is us. Okay. Let's see. Origin of the tarot. Playing cards reached Europe from the Muslim world in the 14th century, but the first decks known in the Western world were like modern playing cards with 4 numbered suits. It was the first years of the 15th century that someone thought to add a set of symbolic cards to the pack and create the first tarot deck. His name was Marziana da Tortona, the personal secretary of Filippo Maria Visconti, Duke of the Milan, and an essay about the new cards that he wrote for the Duke in 1418 still survives. Wow, that's some good info. All the way, like, imagine, like, having that shit all the way from 1418 and be like, oh, well, we can reference this. Like, we have it written down. The additional cards in Marziano's new deck weren't the same as the standard tarot sequence. They were ancient Greek deities, 16 of them, meant to represent virtues and vices. His invention, though, inspired others to make new decks with symbols of their own choosing. Since the sequence of emblems resembled nothing so much as the floats and the grand parades that were a common event in the Renaissance Italy, the name of those parades, triumphi or triumphs after the triumphant processions of ancient Rome came to be used for the symbolic cards. Tarot readers today still call them trumps. That makes sense. By 1415 or so, card players in Milan had settled on 22 trumps used today, and cards painted around that year are recognizable forerunners of the modern tarot deck. Other Italian cities developed similar decks, but it was the Milanese deck that traveled with merchants to Marseille in France, which would become the most important center of tarot manufacture. By the early 1800s, tarot had become a common card game all over France, Switzerland, and northern Italy, as common as poker in the United States today. Only in a few places was it used for fortune telling, though, and it would take a pair of French occultists to transform it into the most important divination system in modern occultism. That's a fucking lot to say. Watch me slut down this water. How do I feel about this content? I really want this to work. Because I think it'd be really fun to read, like, really horrible things. Okay, so does anybody have a fire thing? An Amazon-y fire thing? Okay, list verse. Search for that. Click on the creepy one. There is just something about small towns in America. Every one of them is a little bit different. That's as far as I can get. I should just reboot the whole thing. I hope that works. Okay, let's try this. Because it's like, I'm used to like having like an Apple product, so I feel like I tried to get an app, but it just says Google search and doesn't look like it's like a Google app. Like, is that the same thing? Like, what would you use on one of these to like get to the internet to be able to like browse websites? Can you do that on these? You have to be able to do that on these. How do you turn it back on? Okay, figured it out. Okay. I'm figuring this out. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for being here. How is everyone tonight? Like that the Moonbot is still working. Yes, that's fire. That's fun. There's always ads. That's not fun. I want to be able to just like have backgrounds. I don't want my backgrounds to automatically be ads. That is not as cute. Okay. Okay, let's see if it works this time. Scrubbing your goth makeup off? Good luck. Okay. 10 creepy small town myths. There's just something about small towns in America. Every one of them is a little bit different. Some small towns are beautiful. Some are historically significant. Still, others are remarkable for famous residents. Our list today, however, is not about any of those things. It's about small towns with creepy myths. All across the United States, myths about heinous crimes, mysterious monsters, and spooky locations persist. Some of these myths have become widely known, while others are only locally famous. Still, the list below is certainly not for the faint of heart. Take caution from Alabama to Idaho, Rhode Island to Colorado, as we go through 10 creepy small town myths. Okay, it's working. Thank you for telling me to turn it off and turn it on again. That's very smart. Number 10, the Italian... Bitch, hold up. I'm doing well, thank you so much. No, look, now I spoke too soon. Because now it's gone again. A connection is recommended to use a secure connection to use the app. Okay, so how do you get a secure connection? I'm pretty sure like I'm on the internet. Like I'm on the internet. Like I'm connected to Wi-Fi. That's fucking weird. What the fuck? Justin, fix this. I was having such a good time. Okay, The Italian Bride, Elmhurst, Illinois. We start our journey in the small town of Elmhurst, Illinois. Within the town, there is a cemetery with a creepy myth. The cemetery contains... Well, I guess I'm just gonna like have to hope I can save up one day for an iPad, because I bet an iPad wouldn't do this shit. Oh wait, I can take a screenshot. Should I just screenshot my way through? This is so fucking weird. Is there like how does one browse the internet on a fire? Is there like an app for that? Like, cause I don't know what app I should be using to get to the internet. Does anybody know? Oh wait, I think I got it. Maybe this will work. Okay, sorry. I think I got it. Let's try this. Thank you everyone for helping me. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you, Bree. Number 10, The Italian Bride. I'll start over. We start our journey in the small town of Elmhurst, Illinois. Within the town, there is a cemetery with a creepy myth. The cemetery contains a life-size marble statue of a woman. If that weren't unusual enough, the woman is wearing a wedding dress. All through the area, a local legend persists. Locals have reported the smell of fresh flowers and seeing a ghostly figure moving throughout the cemetery at night, and even at the nearby high school. Ugh. The woman who is immortalized by the statue is Julia Buccolo Petta. Petta died 100 years ago in 1921 during childbirth. Not only was Petta a new mother, but she was also newly married. Her family elected to bury her in her wedding dress. According to the myth, Petta's mother repeatedly had nightmares following her daughter's death. This is creepy enough on its own, but her daughter spoke directly to her in nightmares, commanding her to open her grave. The grave was reopened, and Julia Buccolo Petta was incredibly well preserved. Petta's mother raised funds to have a statue commissioned, and the myth continued to spread and expand from there. Fair warning, if this small town myth creeped you out, be careful. They are just going to get more creepy. Amazon Silk is their internet browser. Thank you, baby. I'm going to make note of that for the future. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm very new to this. I just got this today. I'm sure I'll love it. I just need to grow to learn it and love it. Number 9, Mercy Brown, the Rhode Island Vampire. Exeter, Rhode Island. Many people know about the witch hunt trials in New England. However, there is also a time New Englanders feared vampires. One such tragic story relates to Mercy Brown. Brown had a difficult childhood, as her sister and mother both died of tuberculosis. So common back then. At just 19, she contracted the disease and passed away on January 17th, 1892. Due to all the deaths surrounding Brown's family, locals were suspicious. Many of them suspected that witchcraft or vampires were involved, because that's a logical step. After the burial, she was exhumed. Citizens thought her body was too well preserved, but was it really? And took it as a sign of the supernatural. Here's where it gets weird. The vampire-fearing people of Exeter, Rhode Island, took out Mercy Brown's heart and liver and burned them to ashes. If that weren't enough, they fed those ashes to her surviving brother. He died just 2 months later. Locals around Exeter say Mercy Brown's ghost still haunts the cemetery. Bitch, I would too. What the fuck? That's fucked. That's literally fucked. Okay, number 8. The Candy Lake, Texas. In a small town in Texas, the Candy Lady, not the Candy Lake. Okay, well, maybe I was thinking of Candy Mountain, Candy Lake, whatever. Okay, the Candy Lake, Texas. In a small town in Texas, did I do it again? Okay, whatever. In a small town in Texas, the Candy Lady still scares children and adults alike. According to a myth that started in the early 20th century, the Candy Lady lured children by leaving candies on their windowsills at night. She waits by the window for the children to grab the candy. Then she grabs them. Okay, well, first of all, Mia, I'm putting your fucking bars. I'm going full Uncle Vernon, bars on her windows. Some children reportedly went missing, while others confessed to eating the windowsill candy years later. Other reports included a farmer finding rotted teeth around his farm, a sheriff's deputy with eyes poked out, and pockets stuffed with candy, and a dead boy with candy wrappers in his pockets. As so much time passed, it's hard to say how much is true and how much is legend. Maybe this idea was created to try and stop kids from eating candy or trusting strangers, but one thing is for sure, the Candy Lady gives me the creeps. Number 7, Riverdale Road in Thornton, Colorado. Riverdale Road is a short road near Thornton, Colorado. What it lacks in size, it makes up for in legend. Locals have reported seeing the spirit of a runner and phantom vehicles. However, the most famous of these Riverdale Road myths is the Gates of Hell. This myth refers to an old mansion which is in total disrepair. All the best ones are. According to legend, a man burned his wife and children alive on the property. In the years since, there have been many reported ghost sightings. These include the ghosts of slaves hung on the property, a ghost of the madman's wife, and even ghostly packs of dogs. Stories of this kind have been told since the mid-1800s. Whether it's true or not, it is probably best to stay away from Riverdale Road unless you're a ghost hunter, especially at night. Number 6, the Mothman of West Virginia. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. We know about this one. The next small town myth on our list is somewhat more recent than most. In the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a legend was born, or discovered, in 1966. Apparently, an insect-like creature about the size of a man was seen flying around the town. This creature had glowing lights and bright red eyes. Because of its large wings and the combination of human and insect characteristics, locals dubbed it the Mothman. The Mothman legend has gone on to be known outside of the local area. There is even a 2002 film about the myth, The Mothman Prophecies. It's a good movie. Locals and other paranormal experts have speculated about the Mothman. Some think it's a government experiment. Others think it may be an alien. Citizens continue to report sightings, even in 2016. Point Pleasant has enjoyed the national attention, I think, and seemed to embrace what makes its town unique, even if it is creepy. Number 5, Hell's Gate Bridge in Oxford, Alabama. Not to be confused with Hell's Gate of Riverdale Road, Hell's Gate Bridge in Oxford, Alabama features a legendary myth. In fact, there are 2. Both involve what happens to cars as they go over the road and can be traced back to the 1950s. I feel like that's like a classic time for these things to start popping up. Like Lover's Lane, cars going over bridge, Susie Q type things. The first myth says a couple died driving off the bridge. Supposedly, if you stop on the bridge, the ghostly couple will sit in your car, leaving behind a wet spot. The second myth has spread more widely. According to this creepy legend, you will see hell itself if you look in your rearview mirror or over your shoulder as you cross the bridge. Spooky! Either way, the bridge is now closed to cars and deemed unsafe to walk across. Phantom Jogger, Canyon Hill, Idaho. One of the most prominent features of the small town of Canyon Hill, Idaho, is the Canyon Hill Cemetery. Like many other creepy small town myths on our list, the cemetery is central. The local myth has a name, the Midnight Jogger. Oh my god, imagine being a fucking ghost and you're stuck in workout mode and you literally just like, gotta get my steps in, I gotta run. I would be so mad. I would be so mad if I was that ghost. Okay. According to believers, the jogger only appears in the cemetery and only in a specific place. Scared citizens have reported a knocking sound on their windows, attributed to the spectral spirit. It certainly seems like a very particular ghost. What are all these people doing in the cemetery at night anyway? Considering the lack of things to do in small towns, this myth may have been created for fun and entertainment. Yeah, it sounds like it. Number 3, Stoll Cemetery, Kansas, the gateway to hell. There's a lot of gateways to hell. This is the 3rd time it's been mentioned. Is this what they do in small towns? Is they like the satanic panic and they're like, there's a gateway to hell. The first sentence is, another gateway to hell? I guess the devil has to get around too. This one is in the very small town of Stoll, Kansas. Their local legend is focused not only on hell, but also Satan. Supposedly, Satan appears in Stoll, not once, but twice yearly. It's like fucking Santa, but twice. He appears in the town cemetery for the spring equinox and Halloween. He fucking stays away during the winter solstice, I see, though. Yeah, that's interesting. Near the cemetery are the remains of a church that Satan used to portal back and forth from hell. So he just was like, of all places, fucking Stoll, Kansas. Because it sounds like skull, but it's not. So the people will think it's funny. Stoll. Let's set up camp in Stoll. That's what this motherfucker was thinking, apparently. Another feature of this area is a hanging tree that was used to hang witches. Some people believe that Satan is attracted to the site for this reason. Amazingly, the cemetery is still in use, with new plots being dug. Okay. Who wants to be buried there? The Arkansas Dog Boy, Quitman, Arkansas. Our next legend is another mythical creature, this one from the small town of Quitman, Arkansas. As silly as it sounds, the Arkansas Dog Boy comes with a very dark backstory. Gerald Bettis was a child raised in Arkansas in the 1970s. He was a difficult child, both in and out of school. The most concerning thing was his treatment of animals, particularly dogs. I don't want to keep reading this. Okay. Bettis tortured dogs and had plenty of disturbing worldview, even performing experiments on helpless animals. Later in life, he would take his anger out on his parents, abusing and, according to legend, even murdering them. The legend of the Arkansas Dog Boy is based on story. Sorry, I don't read those things. According to the local myth, the dog boy is a half man, half dog, standing 6 feet and weighing more than 300 pounds. The myth also indicates that he chases his victims, nipping at their heels. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to read about animals. Ugh. The Bunny Man. Fairfax, Virginia. Arkansas is not the only state with a legendary creature with a silly, even comical moniker. In the city of Clifton, Virginia, the Bunny Man makes his home. The origin of the Bunny Man is connected to a local asylum. Patients from the asylum were being transported when their vehicle crashed. Sounds like Halloween. Patients from the asylum... Oh, wait. This was back in the early 1900s, but the legend persists. He was given his name because when the police were looking for him, they kept finding skinned, partially eaten rabbits. In particular, many of these rabbits were hung on Fairfax Bridge. Local legend has changed the name to the Bunny Man Bridge, and is one myth on our list that may have more truth to it than others do, making it even more creepy. In October of 1970, more than 60 years after the bus crash, people have reported seeing a man in a white suit with bunny ears carrying a hatchet. Does this make anyone else think of the movie Donnie Darko? It literally says that. The town of Clifton embraces the legend now, particularly around Halloween. Nice. How do you go backwards on these? How do I go back? Because I like that. Oh, cool. How did we like that list? Now that I figured out how to use this, how did we like that list? Should I do another one? See, like, there's so many good ones on here. I would like to do this regularly. Would you like me to regularly come on here and do creepy night stories? Because, like, listen to this one. 10 times human remains were found in a storage unit. That sounds lovely. That sounds like something we could bond over. Haunted high schools? Ooh. Ten eerie real-life paranormal encounters to creep you out. I kind of want to read this, Oh, Justin's sighing in the other room, so I should probably go and pay attention to him. He is home from tour. Well, I really enjoyed this. I'm sorry that it wasn't longer. Does it tell me how long I've been streaming? I don't even know how long I've been streaming. For a little bit, though. I really enjoyed this. If you had fun, please go back and maybe clip out some moments. I would really, really appreciate it. It makes it easier for us if you help show us what parts you enjoy. If you clip them out, then I will credit you on, Twitter or Instagram, TikTok, wherever we end up sharing it. So just clip things out and I'll tag you, give you credit, and help us get the word out. We want more people to come hang out. I'll start doing regular bedtime stories. I know that we're going to start sharing a lot more stuff on our Patreon as well. It's patreon.com/the Goths next door. The lowest tier is $3 a month. It's our baby.bats tier, and for that you get access to the Discord, where we're going to be having our holiday stream, which hopefully will be this Thursday. But yeah, we have a lot going on. We are so thankful for all of your support. Please keep engaging with us on all of our social media channels. We're trying to grow this channel, and we will see you around. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.